Have you ever wondered about making money online? I'm going to tell you how I got to $550 a month with 14 different income sources in 20 months and take you on that journey with me. But first, this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you returning, it's good to frickin' see you. You better press that subscribe button. Okay, so it all started on Halloween 2018. So this was actually on the 30th. This picture I took in the gym. This here was October 30th of 2018. And October 31st of 2018 at night, I made the decision after starting my new job. I was working for a company at this time in finance, and I made the decision that that is not what I wanted to do, and I wanted something else. I wanted more for my life. I wanted to live life the way I wanted to live life, not have to wear a suit every day, not have to show up to a specific hours. I wanted to do things on my terms. On November 1st, I started, and the reason I started with YouTube is because I knew that there was plenty of people who were making money online. I knew that in the past, in 2013, when there wasn't any requirements, I had started a YouTube channel and I could make money through that route. I knew that. I'd only made a couple of dollars through that route, but I knew it was possible before they raised their standards, and I wasn't able to make money that way. So if I committed to something and just stuck with it and took the time to progress every day, well, over the next 30 days, I didn't make anything, right? So this is from November 1st through December 31st. And over the next 30 days, I didn't make anything. I wasn't monetized on YouTube because I didn't meet the requirements. I wasn't making any money from Amazon because I didn't put that in place until right around Thanksgiving of 2018. And so for the first 30 days, I was just putting in work every single day, but wasn't making any progress. Then in December, I started making some sales on Amazon. I made $23.80. Not crazy numbers, but remember, 60 days in, I'm averaging about 12 bucks a day, or 12 bucks per month. Now, that was 18, the tail end of 18. Now, into 2019, I actually doubled my sources of income from one to two. Remember back here, I just had one source of income. That was Amazon. I wasn't monetized on YouTube. In March of 2019, I got monetized on YouTube. And you get to see here, I also got a free stock from Robinhood from somebody using a referral link for that. So I went from two sources of income actually to three sources of income. And you can see over here on the total on the side, let me just make sure you can see this, on the side over here, the income increases, obviously, as time goes on. It's up and down, but it does increase as the month goes on. So the tail half of 2019, so in this 6-month period, I added additional sources of income. I added 3 more sources of income. So going out, leaving 2019, I have 6 sources of income. And as you can see, in the first 6 months, I didn't break $100 per month on average. And then in the last 6 months, I broke it 4 out of 6 months. I broke $100. So that's good. And in December, I had the best month I ever had. I finished the year with $950 in affiliate income and other sources, right? Well, let's come over to 2020. And in 2020, I actually added additional sources of income. So now I am up to, if we go across here, I'm up to 14 sources of income. And I've added a couple more in the past 30 days. So today is 6/27/2020. And over here, if we look, this is the aggregate of what I've made so far online this month. So if you look, I actually made more last month, but there's a one number that is not reported in here, so I'll probably actually beat last year's numbers. But just given what has happened now, you can see that January, I made 240 bucks. However, in December, I made 185. So I increased the amount I made, and that's been a continuing trend going forward. But what's really interesting is the number of income sources more than doubled, right? Because if I go back to 2019, December here across the bottom, you can't see because my head's in the way, but we can do it up here, right? There's 6 sources of income, 6 different ways that I got income. 2020, now there's a lot more sources of income across the top here. There's 14, and I'm adding another one for July, potentially probably 2 more for July. And it doesn't have to be this super risky venture of working for one company and receiving one paycheck, right? Where if that goes away, just like it's happened with this pandemic and what's going on in the world, a lot of people are SOL. But when you have all of your income generated online and it comes through a myriad of different sources, if one goes away or 2 goes away, it's not cool, but it doesn't really affect you because you just move forward and you add on a couple more income streams. So I wanted to touch on you can see these last 2 months are over 900, right? So here is the quarterly results, or I'm sorry, this is the 6 months. So this is breaking it down by period, right? Every 6 months. So we've got the tail half of 2018, as I just showed you, right? And these numbers are from the numbers that we just looked at on the previous slide here. But when you take a look at them by themselves, when you take a look by themselves, you can see they're changing, right? It went from 375 to 364. But when we look at it on, this is quarterly, this is not actually, this is semi-annually. When we look at it on a semi-annual basis, in that last 6 months of 2018, I averaged $11.90 per month. The next 6 months was $35. So there was a tripling of my income. Right? This is the growth, which is 297. So if you wanted to, if you know about math, it's basically a 300% increase. Throw a 3x increase here. But then the second half of 2019, there was another 3x increase, and the growth rate increased from 200% to 245. And then in the first half of 2020, the growth rate increased again to almost 350%. So if you're doing financial analysis or you're analyzing a company and you want to extrapolate into the future, forecast into the future, there's many different ways of going about doing that. But given the data we have, you can look at like the most recent period that ended and use that growth rate to extrapolate forward for the next 6 months, or you could potentially use an average, a trailing average of the last several periods. So we've got 3 periods. And we have an average over this time period of 261% growth. So over the next 6 months, if you take on the average of the past 20 months growth, I should finish the year with about 1,950 on average for the month. From July 1st through December 31st of 2020, you can press that subscribe button and that bell notification, and YouTube will notify you next time when I put out my actual earnings for this first half of the month, because these are just going to be estimates right now. There's still several days left in the month, and I still have one of the biggest affiliates hasn't paid for the second half of the month. I can't track that data, so that's pretty substantial. But if we use just the last period, meaning the last 6 month period, and we use that growth rate to extrapolate into the future, that just means just a forecast into the future essentially, then that means on the last month of the year, I should have an average over the last 6 months of almost $2,400 a month. And this is where it starts to be fun. Well, it's fun across the whole entire process, but when you put it into perspective and you watch these growth rates to see how this can go forward. And some people might think, well, like, it's just not gonna, it's not gonna continue to grow like that. But there's 2 things happening right there. First of all, you got to know the context of the situation of exactly what's happening. But then also, if you believe it can't happen, then it won't happen, because the actions you lead going into there are not going to allow you to do that. So on both of those fronts, I know it's possible because I can see it here in the data, and the growth rate is actually increasing, right? If we look at the delta between these two, this is 50%. If we look at the delta between these, it's 90%, almost 100%. So the growth rate has actually been increasing over the last 20 months, pretty substantially. And when I look at my personal setup for the next 6 months versus the previous 6 months, it's only been about 2 months since I decided to actually commit to doing this online. That's why if we come over here, we see a jump from $400 to $1,000 here. And this month we'll probably break a little bit over $1,000 once I have the actuals for this month. And that's only been 2 months. So if you look at the previous 6 month period, and there's only 2 of those 6 months where I was actually putting in effort every single day to move forward and try to think about how I can grow faster, and I jumped up to $1,000, versus 6 months straight of me actually showing the fuck up for myself and actually showing up to try to grow and learn and progress every single day for the next 182 and a half days. This number, $2,400, I actually believe is going to be on the low side. If you guys want to follow along, I'm going to share with you all of the details of exactly how I do it and the amounts I make online to give complete and utter transparency. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. Jump over to Instagram and say what's good. There's a link in the description. I'm happy to help out. Don't forget to press that subscribe button. And more importantly, if you know somebody who is struggling right now and they want more for their life and they don't know where to go or how to move forward, right? Share this video with them. It's a process to grow. It doesn't happen overnight. If you continue to move forwards every day, it's just inevitable, just a matter of time before you actually get that breakthrough to get to where you're going. It's been 20 months of putting in time every single week. And just now I'm making $500 a month. And in reality, it's before 2 months ago, I was making $300. So the process works if you stick to it. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you know somebody who is struggling because they don't like what they're doing and they're not happy with their current situation in life, share this video with them so that can help them out. Put things into perspective that it takes time. And if you take the time to start growing today, you make that little bit of directional change in your life, then in 24 months down the road, you'll completely be in a different spot. That's why I'm documenting this journey. You can go back and watch the other videos that I've done, or the couple hundred that I've done over the last year, and see this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help out. Instagram, again, down below. TikTok is fire. I'm posting on TikTok daily, and I am covering a lot more content around business over there as well. So there's also a link down below for TikTok if you want to jump over to TikTok. If you want to enter to win a pair of these super bass headphones, which are actually the Apple AirPod headphones, the first generation, still in the plastic here. These are actually knockoff. So instead of $150, they're $45. My girlfriend has a pair and loves them. If you want to enter to win a pair of these, doing the drawing on July 1st, and you can go through the link in the description, click on the first link in the description, scroll to the bottom, enter your email, and that enters you to win. That when they come out, the drawing will be mentioned on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. It will be in the first week of July, but entries stop on the 1st of July. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to press that subscribe button and bell notification so YouTube will notify you when I post a video. Peace.